All right, we're going to take a look on the inside of BeLive.tv, and this just kind of give you a rundown of what you can and cannot do in BeLive. It's one of the best platforms I think that's available out there. It's inexpensive and it has a lot of power. It does a lot of different things, and so I think it's a really, really great program. So that's why I'm selecting this as being one of the first that I'm going to show you on how to use to do your own live Facebook show. Because right now, like I said, I think it's one of the best, if not the best, for most people. Now, if you're going to get all high tech and do a bunch of other stuff, then there's some other options, but this one is great for just about everybody who's doing a Facebook Live. All right, so this is what you see when you go to BeLive.tv. This comes up first. You're going to want to make sure and create an account. Right now, if you use the link that's in this, in wherever you're watching this, I have a link probably where you can click on and go into BeLive.tv. There's it's either 14 days for free or 30 days for free. It's some option that you can use it for free for a couple days just to make sure that it is something that you're going to want to use. And so go ahead and do that. And once you've done that, then it should look like this. To start a broadcast, you're going to go right here where it says, obviously, start broadcasting. And you're going to click the red button. You have three options. I don't know exactly why they still have solo and interview. Again, it's probably because just to keep you from chasing a shiny object and using something that you're not ready to use. So solo doesn't have all the options that, say, talk show does or interview does. But talk show has all the options. It allows you to share your screen. It allows you to bring people on and invite them with a URL link. So no matter where they are in the world, they can come on as long as they have a camera on their computer and a microphone connected. They can join you in the talk show. The interview, only one person can. In talk show, multiple people can. In solo, nobody can. In talk show, that's the only one that you can share your screen. Because I like to have all options available to me because sometimes things change in the middle of a broadcast depending on what it is I'm teaching. So I just always use talk show because everything's there. And if I start in solo and then suddenly want to share my screen, I would not be able to do that. Things happen. But again, if you just want to keep away from the desire to click on things that you didn't plan on clicking on so it throws off your show flow, then just do solo. That way you have no danger of doing that because you can't. But talk show is my selection. So I hit that. When you're connected to your Facebook page, it'll come up here where you are going to decide whether you want to go to one of your pages, one of your groups on an event, or if you just want to test only. In this case, we're going to go to one of my pages. Most of you probably only have one other page that you're managing. I have multiple, so you're going to see something different on mine and has multiple pages. You see all those pages that I have. So we're going to do Facebook Live TV show. I'm going to type showing the inside of BeLive.tv. All right, I'm going to select a title. Now this internal title is one so that you know what your broadcast is all about. And let me show you why that's important. So I'm going to go on the inside of my account, and over here on the left-hand side where it says my broadcast, if one day I go, you know what, I think I did a broadcast on the training of Charlie, and I think it was day 1. So I can go to broadcast, and I can search down here in the title where it says day 1 Charlie the bed bug detection dog training, right? So it shows me what that is. And why that might be different than the actual title that you're using on a Facebook post is because sometimes in a Facebook post, we're trying to generate interest. So in the post itself, we might say, you won't believe what I'm going to tell you today, or you're not going to believe what I'm going to show you, or here are the 10 things you need to know to be relevant. And then over in the title that nobody sees but only you're going to put what you actually talked about. That way later on, you can find out that subject matter that you actually talked about. So let's say you typed it, you're not going to believe what I'm about to tell you. And then in the actual title, so that you know what it is you talked about in the broadcast, you're going to put, I showed how to make money on Amazon because they just started this new program that you can make money on Amazon, right? So the Facebook post itself doesn't tell people exactly what it is because you want to generate interest, but your title, you want to talk about what it is you're showing in that that broadcast. That way you can find it later. So that's why you want to make sure and possibly, if necessary, call it something different. In this case, I don't. I'm going to call it the same because that's what I'm doing, right? And so in this case, it's going to be exactly the same. Excuse me. All right, here's where you can schedule your post. You're going to click on this, and now you're going to decide, what it is what date you're going to do this broadcast, and what time. Now, this is important if you have a specific strategy of scheduling your Facebook Lives when you want to do them, and you're going to send people there. And you're going to say, hey, tomorrow I'm going to be talking about this great thing. You're going to want to be there. Go to my page, subscribe, or get a reminder by clicking on the link. That way you know that I'm going live and you don't forget, or whatever you're going to say, in today's broadcast. You're going to talk about tomorrow's broadcast. Tomorrow, you can see the post. You click on there. It's also a way of grabbing the information that you need to run a chat bot, right? So you have to schedule a Facebook Live in order to use a chat bot. And so you're going to have to use this program right here, or this part of it, to schedule the date and the time that you're going to run your broadcast. All right, so make sure and do that. You can then add a broadcast image, and I often use my logo to do that because it's recognizable, and so you can use that there. All right, so I'm not going to schedule one for today. And you know what? Actually, let's do that. Let's go ahead and schedule one. All right, so October 10th, that is today, right? I think today is the 10th. Yep. And then let's do it for 1:30. Yeah. Now let's do it 1 o'clock. All right, 1 o'clock. I'm going to use my logo. Click on that, and it'll show up there. This is what it's a circle, right? I'm going to use this email, and then I'm going to select my branding, which is right here. And you can use frames. You can upload. You see here I have a lower third that I can use. And here's one for my Falco Canyon Academy. Here's for Zero to Hero. Sorry, almost used the other company name. And you can create your own, or you can use one of theirs. Now, I'm not clicking on them because for whatever reason, they didn't give you an option that if you change your mind and decide not to use one, how to not use one. There's not an option for that right now, but I'm sure that there will be at some point. All right, so I'm going to not use a frame. Brand colors, red. Let's see, previously used, I think it was blue. Oh, here it is. This blue is the one I use. So I'm going to use that brand color. That means that these lower thirds that are going to pop up every so often are going to have that color, all right, that match the logo. And I'm going to save my branding and create the broadcast. So creating the broadcast doesn't mean you're going to go live. So don't be afraid to hit this button. Nothing's going to happen. It's going to take you where you can decide what camera you're going to want to use. All right, it sent me a messenger. I forgot to talk about that. You can unclick that messenger. It just sends a message into my messenger. Let's see if I can show you what that looks like. So over here on my right-hand side, you see it sends you this message here. Your broadcast will be ready to start at October. That's not good English, is it? Isn't it on October 10th? If you have any questions or need assistance, go ahead and reply here. And BeLive support staff will assist you. You can manage and start. So after a while, you don't need to have this on here anymore. And this is the link that I can go to. So let's say I got out of BeLive and closed that tab. Later on, when I decide to do the show, so like if I did it at 1 o'clock, at 12:45, I'll click on this link and it'll take me to the and I'll be able to manage the broadcast. So it's there in my messenger if I ever need it. So there's a box that you check or uncheck based on whether you want that information or not. All right, so here we are inside the dashboard for your BeLive event when you decide to go live. All right, here's where you're going to connect your cameras. So when it's time to figure out what cameras you're going to want to use, you're going to click on this cog, and automatically it goes to 540p. You have three options: 720, 540, and 480. 540 is generally good enough. That's why it's probably the default. But if you're connected by hardwire to your computer via an Ethernet, you can probably do a 720 as long as your internet is fast enough and your computer is good and fairly new. 720 gives you a really high quality. But it takes a lot of information, and it's really, takes a really good internet connection. So 540 is generally good. This is where you select your camera. You can see Mima Live is a broadcast software that I use. It's open right now, so it's showing me that I have that as an option. But just for today, or just at least for right now, I'm going to use my HD Pro webcam C920, all right, to make sure things aren't complicated. All right, so I'm just going to use that camera. And then I'm going to use my ATR USB microphone, which is this one right here that I'm using. All right, so we're going to use that. And you see I have other options, right? But I'm going to use that one. That's the one that's closest to me and the one I want to use. And then I'm going to connect to the camera. And there is a chance, I just remembered why Oh, I'm using it in in whatchamacallit. So let's use built-in eyesight. Sorry about that. I'm using the camera in the ScreenFlow that I'm creating this video, so obviously that camera is not an option. All right, connect cameras, and there we go. All right, so my computer is tilted down just a little bit. So the reason it wouldn't select is because I'm busy using that camera in another program. So that's why the camera can't be used by two programs at the same time. So if you ever run into that situation, now you know what to do. You got to either close the other program that's using that camera, or just select another camera. So in this case, I'm using the camera that's on my computer. All right, so when you're ready to go to broadcast, you're just going to send this up to the broadcast. So now you can see on the right-hand side, you can see that there is what the people are going to see. And again, I probably will adjust that so that it's not down like that. But again, that you're going to make those adjustments, make sure your lighting is good. And again, nothing's happening, nothing's going live right now, so you can do just about anything that you want. On the Logitech, there is a Logitech camera settings that you want to download. It's an app, and it will allow you to make some adjustments. And it's important that I show you this one adjustment so that you don't run into some of the same problems I did early on that can cause you some grief if you're using the Logitech. All right, so of course, I'm not using that now, but if you're using the Logitech, you want this Logitech camera settings, and you're going to want to uncheck this auto. That means it's going to autofocus. And the reason you want to uncheck that is because as you move back and forth, if you're talking, the camera's going to be constantly trying to focus in on your face, and you don't want that. It causes a distraction to the people watching your video that it keeps going out of focus and back in the focus. So by unchecking that after it's in focus, so you wait until it's in focus, then you uncheck it, and that way it stays in that mode, and you don't get this blurry, out of blur, then focus, then out of blur, or then blurry situation going on. Again, but other things here is the advanced settings, and this is where you're going to change your brightness, and you can go up and down based on your lighting conditions, your contrast, and your white balance. To move the white balance, you need to uncheck this too, so that you can change that white balance. So this is really good way to really hone in on the way your video looks by using these extra settings, but you have to download it onto your computer. It doesn't necessarily come in a CD when you get your camera. It's separate, and so you download it as an app to your Mac and probably your PC. I'm not quite sure how it works on your PC, but I'm sure there's something that you can, I'm sure there's an app that you get for your PC. All right, so let me close that. I'm so sorry about my cough. All right, so as you're setting up for your broadcast, the thing you're going to want to do is you're going to possibly click on this button here called Agenda. In Agenda, you plan ahead for what it is you're going to talk about. So you've heard me talk about a ScreenFlow before. If you watch some of my other videos that I do and teach people how to do Facebook Live, you want to make sure and have a screen. What did I just say? A show flow. Gosh, a show flow, not a screen flow. A screen flow is the name of the program you're using. A show flow, so that you have your items that you're going to be talking about numbered out, so that you know exactly what it is you're going to be talking about. So let's say if we're talking about this BeLive.tv, we're going to show first is going to be BeLive.tv. So that is the URL that people are going to be going to, and I'm going to add that agenda item. The next thing that we're going to talk about is deciding on a title. I'm just making this up, on a title. And there's a new button there that I'm looking at that wasn't there before when I did this the last time. They're adding stuff all the time to BeLive TV, so I'm interested to see what that's saying, and we're going to learn together what that means. All right, the next thing is let's see, branding, and let's do one more just for fun, and then dashboard. All right. Oh, now you hit save. You used to not have to hit save. Let's see, new agenda. Wonder why that. This may be something that gets used when you are in the middle of a broadcast. Maybe something that becomes live which I'm going to find out a little bit later on, and I'll let you know. All right, and then each one of these, as you use them, you can check them off so you don't use them again, which is a brand new feature. This was not available before. So you get done using it, you check it off, and it's gone, and that way you don't forget that you already talked about that thing. When you decide that you want to use it, you're going to click show, and it's going to pop up right there on the broadcast. You see it right there, deciding that's what the audience sees, and you can either hide it or go to the next one, and the next one will pop up. All right, do you see that? And you can, again, click on that so that it goes down to the bottom. All right. And what else? And then if you decide that when you're setting up this agenda that it's in the wrong, that you don't like that one anymore, that it's not one that's going to be useful, you just hit the trash can and it'll go away. Right? It'll ask you if you want to delete it, and you say delete. And then the other thing is that, let's say that later on you go, you know what, I think we should talk about branding first. So you can move that up in the chain. So now it becomes the number 2 topic. And you go, no, I've changed my mind again. I want it down here. I want to talk about after deciding the title. So you can decide, as you're putting your show flow together, where things belong, or at the last minute you've decided, oh, I forgot about this one thing, and you type it in, and then you can move it up. All right, so there's a way of moving those things around, and that's how you do that. That agenda is really important because it shows what's up there. And then during your broadcast, if somebody comments, and this is one of the greatest things about BeLive.tv, because people love the engagement when they get noticed. So some people are a little sketchy to get noticed, but sometimes when they see other people getting noticed and seeing their branding or their image being put on the screen, they begin to engage more often. They go, oh, I want my picture up there, and I want people to see what it is I'm doing. Then you can do something like bringing up their comments. So let's say BeLive TV is watching, and they decided they want comments to show, and you like what it is they commented here. You just click on this button where it says show, and their face will be there if they're using their Facebook profile, or their company name will be there, and whatever their title is of their Facebook page that they're watching from will be up there in the blue, and then their comment will show up there in the white. It is the greatest way to increase engagement on a Facebook Live, is showing people that you notice them, and then they're being seen by everybody else who is watching. And it really then, oh, I want to do that, and I want my name to show up there again, and they type in another comment, and it really begins to open up the doors to comments, which are really important to Facebook. If you're going to get noticed on Facebook, is if people are commenting on what it is you're doing, Facebook's going to do more to make sure people see what it is you're doing. All right, and then for it to go away, you just hit hide, or you click on the next comment you want people to see. All right, then on your live broadcast, I don't have any options here. Actually, let me just go to share screen. Maybe that will help. So if I want to share my screen, you had a couple options here. So I actually have 2 screens on my computer. That's why you're seeing the one with my kids on it. That's my other screen. And then the one that you're looking at is the one that's broadcasting right now, right? If you have other applications open and you want to show an application, which I recommend that you use that in many cases, because when you go to share screen, people will see that you're doing this first, and then you have to click on another tab, and it looks really clunky when you do it that way. I would prefer that you use an application. So this uses other applications that are open on my desktop, which right now appears to be only 2 other than ScreenFlow, which I'm using right now. Mimo Live should be up there too, but it's not for some reason. Let me click on this and see if it'll bring it up. There we go. So yeah, Mimo Live is showing. So if I want to show people Mimo Live, I would click on Mimo Live, and that's when I want to share my screen. All right. So if my teaching that I'm going to be doing is not BeLive and it's actually on Mimo Live, I'm going to select that application to show the audience when I'm ready. All right. So I'm going to hit share. And there it is. So here it is in the lobby area. You see this lobby section? These are things or people that are waiting to be shown up here on the broadcast section. On the broadcast section is what people are going to see over here on the live broadcast over here where it says live broadcast preview. This is what people are seeing now. They're seeing none of this, obviously. And these are the things down here that you're waiting to show. All right. If I have Facebook photos that I want to show, I click on add, and I want to, that's funny that I have to sign in to Facebook since I'm in Facebook. Interesting. Okay, so let's say I want to show a picture of my daughter and I. We're at the White House event where we were doing some stuff there. All right, so let's say that's one of the pictures I want to show. And so just the other day, my daughter and I were at the White House, and we got our picture taken. And you can see over here in the live preview, it splits the screen between my camera and what I'm showing as far as a photograph. Now, let's say I want the photograph to be bigger. What I do is underneath the photograph, I click solo, And now that's all they see over here in the broadcast, but they can still hear my voice. I didn't go away. So it's solo in regard to what picture's showing, but it doesn't take away from my voice. All right, that's really important because some people, and I'm gonna click down for it to go back away, they will click here. Let me make this go back up. They will click where they want, let's see. Oh, you know what? They took that option away. Interesting. You used to be able to just go only picture here, but they don't have that option anymore. Huh. Oh, I see. So if I were to click myself down and go down here and that were to go big, now nobody can hear my voice. So you don't want to do that. You want to make sure and always that you're in the broadcast. And if you just want to show this picture all by itself, then you click solo. All right. And then when you're done with it, you click the down button. It goes back into the lobby. And now I'm going to share my screen. And if you want to talk over something and show your screen, you're going to go to solo. And that way that is all in the screen there. All right. So now you can see the other camera that I'm using is being used by Mimo Live. I thought it was ScreenFlow, but it's not. It's Mimo Live that's using it. All right. So there you go. All right. So now when I'm to get done showing my screen, or if you want to take a break, if you have a statement you want to make and you don't want the screen to be sharing for a second, you just hit the down arrow. And you give that whatever it is you want to, that statement you want to make, and you send it right back up the broadcast, and it'll go right back to where it was before in solo mode. All right. And then if you want to split the screen again, you do that. And then if you're done with that, you just click it down. All right. Very, very simple. Again, if you want to add another photo, you click that. And okay, I didn't show you necessarily very well how to use these things. So let's say you're in a broadcast and you have your side-by-side thing going on, and you want the person that you're interviewing to have all the attention. You can then either go solo with them or make their picture bigger and you go a little bit tinier in a picture-in-picture. All right. And if you want to go back to split screen, you just hit split screen. Or if now you want to make a point and then go smaller, then you click on that, right? And you can be aware of where that picture-in-picture is and move over and make sure that it's not blocking you. All right. And then we make it go back down again and you go back to a solo picture. All right. Now, if you want somebody to join you in the middle of a broadcast, right down here at the bottom right, you see where it copies a copy link. You click on that and that copies the clipboard. Then you can go into a comment section, which is not here. Unless I'm live, that comment section isn't showing right here. So there's going to be a comment section here. So then you can right click and you can paste that URL that you copied from down here into your comments and tell people that are watching, anybody wants to join me, make sure your camera is connected and your audio is connected. And once you see that you're in the dashboard, close the Facebook page that you're watching this on. The reason you want them to close the Facebook page that they're watching this on is because it'll cause an echo. The audio from the Facebook page, which is delayed, will not sync with what's happening when you're actually on the broadcast with somebody else. So make sure they understand they have to close their Facebook page while they are on camera with you. Once they're off camera, then they can open up that Facebook page again and continue watching. So make sure they do that. All right, but you're going to put that URL here in the comment section so that people can click on it and join the conversation. All right, so that is it. Oh, your lower third. If you want to show your lower third, you just click on the show button and it'll show your lower third right there. Do you see that? There's the blue branding. Oh, I have blue shirt on. So you might, that's where you want to be aware of the color of the clothes that you're wearing, that it may cause something not to show as well. But in this case, it's okay because I'm just teaching. All right. So it gives me a good teaching point to make sure I should have wore a red shirt. That way the lower third shows up a lot better. All right. And then when you're done showing your lower third, then you click that. When somebody's on, which it doesn't show here. Yeah, when somebody's on, it actually will have their name. Whatever name they use to log into will show up, and you can show their lower third also. All right, and that is all you need to know in regard to running a Facebook Live in BeLive.tv. Oh, comment section down here on the lower right-hand corner. This is where you can talk to the other people that are in your broadcast, and the audience can't see it. So you can say, hey, John, I am going to bring you on next. So as you're broadcasting, you may not be able to type that and speak at the same time. I've been learning how to do that. I can do that now fairly well, listen and type at the same time. It's not as effective, obviously, but you can do that. But you can let John know that they're going to come on next, so to be ready and to get on camera and brush their hair or do whatever. Or I can see something hanging out of your nose, or you got something in your teeth. You would let them know there in the team chat, not over here in the comment section. All right, so that's another important part of Be Live. When you want it to go away, you just click on it again and it'll go away. All right, that is it. That's all we have for you on the inside of Be Alive. I hope I covered it all for you, and we'll make it a little bit easier for you to get connected. All right, that is it. I will talk to you later. Bye.